Well, Gary, we've started with 3 pre-season friendlies. We're into the competitive action now. It's the first game, Hamilton. It's a Premiership team. We know that they've been relegated, unfortunately. But what did you expect from your squad tonight and the way that they performed?
Well, I think in the second half, I'll get to the second half. I think at the start of the game, now that I look back and analyse it a little bit, the first half wasn't what we wanted, but was probably expected when you can sit back and sort of look at it. Hamilton are a team that have been relegated. They've got fans back into the ground for the first time. They've got to come out and show an intent about what they're going to be this season. And we're a new team that's sort of been put together over this close season. So when you add that up to them, that's how the game panned out. I thought the first 15, 20, 25 minutes, Hamilton were excellent. They got at us. We rode the luck a little bit. And we were just coming through it, and we lost big Stephen Bronski to a calf injury. And while he was off the pitch and we were reshuffling, before we could get a sub on, they scored when we were down to 10 men, which is unfortunate. And there was a couple of other instances, that we've maybe rode the luck a little bit, and we get into half-time, we're 1-0 down, and we speak to the players about a few things, and we tweak the formation a little bit. But I have to say, in the second half, I thought my players were excellent. I honestly did, and we had a good shape about us. We pressed at the right time. We carried a threat. We created a couple of half chances, one clear-cut chance. And if I'm being honest, I think Hamilton could have had the game out of sight by half-time. But I think our second half performance deserved us to get a draw. I think a draw would have been a fair result. So I'll never ever be happy getting beat. And I don't want to get into the habit of saying what I say to the players. But if you're ever going to lose a game, that's the way that you lose a game. We were committed. We were together, but I don't want to lose games.
Yeah. It was unfortunate, like you say. You're on the back of the Bronski injury, and I guess you have seen it yourself. You've been a defender, but somebody's went off. The heads are turning a bit. The substitutes waiting to come on, and they get a breakaway goal. Yeah,
what's happened? Listen, there's a 1-2. Danny Jardin's had to go to right back. He's just finding his feet. He's a midfielder, and they get in between him and Scott Reekie with a 1-2. You're a man down, and they score the goal. Yeah. And it's a blow, especially because you just want to get the 11 on and get everybody organised again. And even if you're a wee bit, everybody behind the ball, just let everybody find their feet again. So that knocked us a wee bit, and it was important that we got to half-time at 1-0, because, if it went 2-0, But as I say, Scott Reekie moved from right back into centre half, Danny Jardin went to wide right. And listen, some of the stuff we played in the second half was really nice. We bopped the ball about, and we're playing against a decent team, a team that was in the Premier League last year. So we've got to take the positives for our performance for that. Yes, we don't want to get beat, but we need to take the positives. And there was a lot of positives, and we now need to carry that on. We've lost Scott for probably a matter of, Stephen for a matter of weeks, probably once we reassess that at the start of the week. But hopefully, we'll have Lewis Kidd back. Lewis was a late call off tonight. And it's ironic because Stephen wasn't going to start the game tonight. Lewis was going to start, and Stephen was going to be on the bench, and Lewis had a late call off. Stephen has to start. He pulls his calf. Sometimes, football, it can be a cruel game, and that he wasn't actually meant to be starting tonight. But it is what it is. We'll have Lee Hamilton back. Lee was got contact with the track and trace, so he had to isolate. So we're without Lee. So hopefully we'll have Lewis and as everybody knows, we've still got to add to the squad as well, but I don't want to just add people for the sake of adding people. So hopefully we'll have a couple back and maybe 1 or 2 new players in for Tuesday.
Towards the end of the first half, I thought Edinburgh City, we got into a rhythm, we were passing it well, started to create wee chances here and there, and then we came out with that same intent in the second half and actually started building on it, and we became far more fluent in my eyes. Uzi C had 2 early chances in the first half.
What we asked the players to do was we set them a challenge. We asked them we're 1-0 down, we've got people playing out of position, and we set them a challenge, and it sounds stupid, we said, but make sure when we get to 65, 70 minutes, the worst the score is for us is still 1-0. Because then we'll go and change the game and we'll go a wee bit more attacking. Yeah. And the players done that, they made us be able to do that, and at the end, we're playing, I think we're playing 4-1-3-2, I think Callum Tappin was, and then we had Danny Handlin attacking player, James Hilton, young Michael McFarlane, we had Uzi, we had Ryan Shanley, And then, you know, we had the young Cammy Fraser, an under-20 lad that's only trained with me 2 or 3 times, but he caught my eye, you know, and that came out a wee bit fortuitous. He came up, we were a player shot, he came up to make the numbers up, liked what we've seen, he came up again, put him on the bench tonight. Uzi had a wee bit of cramp at the end. The lad 10 days ago hadn't trained with the first team and now he's made his debut, so great for him as well, and he put in a great cross to the back post that Ryan Shanley nearly scored. So no, a lot of positives, but you know me, you know how I don't like getting beat. Even though we've played well, I don't like getting beat, but we'll look at it, we'll analyse it, and we'll try and take the second half performance into the start of the Ayr game, which will be another very difficult game.
Yeah, and you mentioned these two players a couple of times, Tappin and Hanlon. I thought Tappin was really influential around that midfield area.
And like every club, you know, he said that there'll be players that have had a disjointed close season. Tappy's wife a girlfriend caught COVID. Tappy had to go and take a test, he had it, so he missed the first 10 days or something in pre-season. He done 1 training session, I think he got 45 minutes at Bonnyrigg Grows. He maybe actually never even had a training session, he played 45 at Bonnyrigg. Then he got 60 against Rangers, then he trained and then he's played 90 tonight, so he's probably played more games than he's actually trained. So we need to be careful with him because he's got to be a big player, but I hope the people that were here tonight and the people that watched online can see why we went out our way to try and get him in and made him a big signing of the summer.
Yeah, and summarising on that, it was great to see the fans in tonight, definitely. You know, you've seen them in various corners of the ground over the last season. It's been great to see them behind the goals or, you know, in the stand.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's a lot of new players that they've not seen before.
Yeah,
you know, and I think there's so many positives that came out tonight, and to be fair, Hamilton clung on at the end.
Yeah, that can happen. Listen, you can happen. It doesn't matter what level you're at. If you're 1-0 up, we tend to go. You tend to find that you panic a wee bit and stuff like that. And that's probably what happened with Hamilton. But no, it was good to see the fans, and not just for me, because as I say, I'm trying to build a new team. You know, there's been quite a few changes in terms of personnel. Some through my choice, some through players have moved on to full-time or higher divisions, players that I wanted to keep. So I'm trying to build a new squad that still needs to be increased. We still need to get more people into that. But it was important for me tonight that I seen what I was trying to do, because I've seen it getting better in the pre-season games, poor against Gala, better against Bonnyrigg, real good disciplined performance against Rangers' Colts team. And then tonight it was important that we carried that on. And it was slow at the start, as I've explained why, but the second half I've seen good signs that we still need to build on and still improve. But I think it's important that the fans that were here tonight and the fans that watched online seen the new players that have came in and actually thought, wow, he looks okay, I quite like him, I've not seen much of him, he showed me something. And I think the players done that tonight, but I didn't want us to be a yo-yo team. It may happen that individuals will have up and down performances because we're a relatively young team now compared to how we were last season, and when you've got young players, you're 9 out of 10 one week and you're 6 out of 10 the next week. That can happen, but I'm aware of that. But I didn't want to say it was good because we got beat, but there was encouraging signs that we can work with.
And I'm sure the fans will see that as well. And thanks very much, Gary.
No, listen, it's great, you know, and you know, and also, you know, the fan, you know, they be thinking what's happening with Grant, and you know, for the next couple of weeks, Stevie Crawford's coming in to give me a hand, you know. So
yeah, well, I wasn't going to bring that up.
Because you know, I spoke to the you know, the national press had asked about it and that. So, you know, Stevie is somebody that I've known for years. Great experience as a player, coach at Falkirk, assistant manager at Hearts, manager at Dunfermline. And I just thought, you know, the pre-season's fine doing yourself, but I just thought it was important to have somebody in next to me for the Premier Sports games. And that's what it is, you know, we'll see where we're in a couple of weeks. But he's in the short term to help me out. And I was grateful tonight because he spoke to the players well and he passed on some good information. So,
okay, thanks very much, Gary.
Cheers.
Okay, cheers.